e per me questo motivo è molto forte per me
Mm,
e per
mm.
connettare con le altre persone.
Le conversazioni profonde ci vuole un po' di tempo per arrivare alle conversazioni profonde.
Understanding native speakers can be so difficult when it comes to language learning. In this video, I'm going to summarise my top techniques as to how you can still understand and communicate with native speakers even if you don't know exactly what they're saying. I'm James, I'm native in English and I can speak Spanish and Italian. I help people reach a conversational level in a different language. So first of all, I'm going to quickly summarise the key points that I want to share as part of this video. Then in the second part of this video, I'm going to share a conversation I had in Italian with Giuseppe, who's a native Italian speaker. I'm going to comment on my thoughts and feelings as I'm talking with him and share that with you. So, what are the key points of this video? Point number one, you will not understand every single key word that you hear a native speaker saying to you. Therefore, it's best if you pick out the keywords that you know, so you can understand the context of the conversation and pick out keywords and piece it together in your mind. For example, if you hear the words from a native speaker, tomorrow, park, walking, rain, hope not, then you can guess that they're going to the park tomorrow and they're hoping that it's not going to rain. So using keywords like that, you might not understand exactly what they're saying, but you can get the general theory of it rather than having to rely on knowing every single word. The second point is if you think you know a word but you're not 100% sure that it's the right pronunciation or the right variation of that word, say it 2 or 3 different variations what you think it could be. And it makes it so that the chance that the other person understands it is higher. So you might think of a word, for example, calor, which means hot in Spanish. I could try saying calor, calor, and calé, for example. Different pronunciations, only one is correct. But if the middle one is the one that the native speaker hears, when you're saying that word, you'll notice a positive body language from them. They'll probably nod and understand what you're saying. So from that point, the conversation goes on. Next point is very common when people say, I want to be fluent in a different language. It's okay to pause. When we're speaking our native language, so say I'm speaking English, and I'm trying to think of a more succinct, more direct word I want to use when talking to someone else, I might have to pause and think, what was that word? What is that thing? And I'm speaking English, my native language. So when you speak in a different language, it's okay to pause and think about things. It doesn't mean you're not fluent or you don't know the language, because it happens. Our brains forget some simple words in our native language quite often. The final point is body language and voice intonation can give away so much information about a conversation or what the other person is saying. If they're saying something and then it goes up at the end, you know that they're asking a question. This also allows you to find out if they're telling a joke, if they're laughing or something, or they're agreeing with what you're saying. So with that said, let's dive into the video of myself and Giuseppe, the native Italian speaker, having a conversation about languages and language learning and differences between Spanish and Italian as well.
Quindi questo qui. Cioè bisogna sapersi dare delle sfide giuste. Non poco perché, non troppo poco perché ti annoi, non troppo alto perché altrimenti molli del tutto.
Come hai detto, c'è un oggetto molto chiaro, e per questo motivo non c'è bisogno di dedicare un sacco di tempo ogni giorno, 1 ora ogni giorno per imparare, per sentire e scrivere la grammatica solo per questo motivo.
So there's a few different things to consider here about my body language. You can see my hands are moving like mad when I say every day I use my hands to display it. So I naturally, or subconsciously, I use my hands and use my body language to send across more information about what I'm saying. So if I say a word slightly incorrectly, he gets more information and that information helps him work out, okay, what is James trying to say? He's using his hands to indicate every, or like on a multiple occasion, and that must be what it means.
Sì, questo qui. Tenere diverse costanti è una variabile.
Allora, per te, perché ti piace imparare altre lingue?
Finora, allora, italiano, inglese, utilità e l'utilità. Cioè, infatti una delle cose più belle, uno dei regali più belli che mi sono fatto è di imparare l'inglese,
Sì.
impararlo bene. Ad esempio, no? Ora all'università ci avremo il secondo semestre inglese. La gente pensa che sei pure più intelligente quando sai diverse lingue, quindi, parli diverse lingue? Sei più intelligente. Quindi diciamo è un bonus in più. Sai che aggiungiamo questo bonus, lo facciamo una volta per tutte e facciamolo. Tanto è utile.
So for this bit here, Giuseppe spoke super quickly and I was like, what? Wow, that's a lot of Italian. So I had to not listen to every single word, but I heard più, which means more, and then intelligente, which means intelligent in Italian, which is quite simple. But essentially I pieced that together and my question was, why do you learn different languages essentially? And he answered, oh, because of various different reasons, one of which because people perceive him as to be more intelligent. And I got that pure intelligente. But if you can imagine what a typical response to that would be, you can guess, oh, more intelligent, okay, that makes sense in that context. Words that you hear from native speakers, if you're asking a question to them, you should expect a certain response. You might expect them to say one of multiple different things. So use that to your advantage. And I was anticipating words, and as soon as I got them, like more intelligent, più intelligente, then I could continue from that point, and I understood what he meant. Other words like that can be filler words and not as important. But in this context, I was listening for the keywords to understand the context of the conversation.
Qual è quello che posso riutilizzare, no? E quindi le lingue erano qualcosa di diverso, però qualcosa di simile, hai capito? E c'è, capito? Deve un pochettino non troppo diverso.
Per la sfida e perché è utile nel
È utile,
futuro, nel tuo
è
futuro.
utile.
So for this bit here, I said la sfida, which means the challenge. So that's my perception of what he was saying, and I wanted to say, and it's useful, utile. And I wanted to basically say, I think you're saying this, and I want to basically phrase back what I think he said to him to confirm it was right. Most likely, it'll be yeah, that's it, just a small nod or agreement. But then if I didn't quite understand it, rather than going off on my own tangent, saying my opinion about it, I just confirm, okay, it's very useful, and it's for the challenge. And he's like, yeah, cool. So sometimes if there's a disconnect or the communication isn't quite there, then if you say a few words just to repeat back, just to paraphrase what you think they meant, it affirms if you're on the right lines basically before you go into something different.
Sì, e ancora, ovviamente hai detto che ci sono persone che parlano 5 lingue. 5 lingue è moltissimo per me, perché so inglese e di solito noi inglese non possiamo parlare altre lingue perché non c'è bisogno. Tutto il mondo fortunatamente parliamo inglese e possiamo fare, ma c'è ho notato che c'è un senso di rispetto, ho notato, quando nonostante quando cercare o provare a parlare italiano o spagnolo.
So for this bit here, I did a full-on like Italian Rome accent where it's da 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 like that basically, which is how I think of it. And when I do that, I get into sort of an act or a persona or like a mindset of I'm speaking Italian now. So for me, that helps me adjust my voice intonation rather than just saying ba 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 ba, just being monotonous, because your voice intonation helps the other person understand more of what you're doing. And for me, it also helps me tell my mind, look, you're speaking Italian, you're not speaking English. And it's a different personality. Everyone has a different personality in different languages.
Sì, c'è rispetto. E per me questo motivo è molto forte per me. E per connettare con le altre persone. Sì, mi piace questo. Ma è molto difficile per imparare più di queste lingue e parlare fluentemente, con confidenza, secondo me.
Le conversazioni profonde ci vuole un po' di tempo per arrivare alle conversazioni profonde, perché bisogna avere anche una certa padronanza del linguaggio, conoscere pure termini specifici di quel specifico posto, di quel...
So just a quick one here. Some words that people say in Italian or Latin-based languages, happens in Spanish too, you can sort of guess because it sounds very similar to English. And if it sounds similar to English, most likely you can use that and think, oh, profundo, that sounds like profound, so that's probably what it means. So that can get you quite far. Sometimes it's a false friend, which means it's nothing like it. It sounds similar to an English word, but it isn't. But a lot of the time, if you're trying to understand what they're saying, and the word that you're hearing matches with the context in general, then use it to your advantage and imagine that they said that, and it helps you understand more of what they're saying.
Ad esempio, qui ci sono, nella mia università ci sono persone di tutta la Calabria, però ci sono termini che loro utilizzano che non utilizziamo. È il dialetto che utilizzano, quindi ci sono alcune cose che addirittura cambiano da provincia a provincia, da regione a regione. Quindi figurati da lingua a lingua.
Sì, e che c'è persone che pensare, altra parte, italiano e spagnolo sono molto simili. Cosa pensi? Cosa pensi? Ovviamente posso parlare le tue, ma cosa pensi? Hai consiglio per persone?
Allora, cosa penso? L'altro giorno c'era un gruppo di spagnoli, hola, ¿qué tal? Stavamo buscando una cosa. Li stavo vedendo che passavano dalla nostra associazione e li vedevo che tutti li vedevo que hola, ¿qué tal? Hola, ¿buscáis a alguien o algo? Ah, hola, estamos buscando un ESNA, el Erasmus Student Network.
Oh, sì, sì, capisco.
Buscamos el ESNA, buscamos el ESNA. Che è l'ESNA? Ah, lei è ESNA, ah, ok, ok. E in pratica c'era una ragazza che guardava così, guardava. E la ragazza mi diceva, sto intentando aprender italiano, pero no entiendo nada. Van demasiado rápido. E andava, che sta cercando di imparare italiano, però dicono che, che l'italiano e lo spagnolo sono simili, ma lei mi diceva che non è che non capiva niente. Ma
Oh,
non solo lei, diverse volte mi hanno detto queste cose qui, però, che
sì.
capiscono poco, diciamo. Di facilità, secondo me, lo spagnolo è leggermente più facile dell'italiano.
So that's it. That's me having a conversation with a native speaker in Italian and me showing you how I use my hand gestures, different ways of acting and portraying my other personality in Italian and sort of guessing what I don't know and picking out keywords so that it fills in the whole context. Because your mind's clever. Your mind can work out, okay, I have these keywords. What is the general topic of conversation? Cool, let's work out what he's saying. I'm not listening to every single word. I'm feeling the sort of sense of what he's saying. And it can help you understand what they're saying quicker so that you can generate a response quicker in your head without having to translate to your native language and back again. So thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like. And if you enjoy this kind of content, feel free to subscribe to my channel as well. See you later.